We often weave elements of our culture into the things that we create, which of course means games. When we get to bring parts of our heritage, our history into what we've created, it makes those worlds all the richer. Our next speaker has felt that way for quite some time, seeing games as an opportunity to explore culture since she first played Super Street Fighter II. Her upcoming game, Guardian of the Noal, infuses themes of nature and prehistoric mythology from a Mexican perspective. Please welcome to the stage the game director for Chaco Cosmos Games, Miriam Bautista.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miriam Bautista, and my talk is titled Roots and Realms, Games Inspired by Nature and Pre-Hispanic Mythology. A little bit about me. I'm a game developer from Tijuana, Mexico. I'm interested in telling stories full of culture and the magic contained in the legends, stories that raise awareness about important issues, such as caring for the environment, which our ancestors cared deeply about. And just so you can see where I'm located, the pink dot there in the map, that's where Tijuana is. We are neighbors to San Diego, California. And you can see that Mexico is not a small country. Most of the important archaeological sites are in the Mexico's southern regions. So when I want to visit one of those places, I have to travel by plane for around 4 hours just to get there. But I love it. I love traveling. And Mexico is recognized for its remarkable cultural and environmental diversity. But why am I here and how did I get into video games? Well, I grew up with video games, especially Nintendo ones. One of the most influential games for me has been Super Street Fighter II for the Super Nintendo console. Also Zelda Ocarina of Time, but the first one was Street Fighter. My favorite thing about this game was that it had so many details. The animations in the background, the different character designs, the representation of different cultures in the game, the music, the effects, everything was so awesome. Street Fighter II was the game that inspired me to become a game developer. I was like 14 years old when I said, when I grow up, I want to be a game programmer so I can make cool games like that. A few years later, I studied an engineering program that was a mix of computer science and graphic design. I specialize in interactive media. I've been working in that field for plus 15 years. In my early professional career, I developed educational games for preschoolers in a company called Club Lia. There's an image of the interface design in the bottom left corner. Very colorful, very cartoony, and the platform included a variety of mini games with different educational purposes. I'm also an educator with many years of experience teaching. I currently teach subjects related to game programming and interactive media at a local university. And at the university, I had the opportunity to do research and learn new technologies like extended reality. I developed a VR experience that was a Day of the Dead altar. You can see a little image there. It was a room where you can go in and interact with the object. And I even put a little guardian dog that showed a squinkle, and everybody liked it. I'm also a Women in Gaming ambassador. Women in Gaming is the community of women working in the video game industry here in Mexico. Our mission is to promote the participation of women in this field. And some of my hobbies, martial arts. I do Kung Fu, Tai Chi, lion dance. It's how I stay active. Hiking and traveling is just part of my exploring the nature. That's why I also like games with this mechanic. Movies, animation, I like playing video games, of course, and I like cats. But last year, I embarked on the quest of working on my own project and founded the indie game studio called Choco Cosmos Games. And a little bit later, I will talk about the project that we're working on. So I like fun games. And speaking about fun, video games are fun, and we can use them to tell stories in a fun way. This is why video games are a powerful storytelling medium. It's immersive. We become the main character and actively engage in solving the challenges within the story. And some examples here, whether you're playing a fantasy, a sci-fi, or a historically based game, when crafted thoughtfully, it can evoke deep emotions and deliver messages in ways that other media simply can't match. And these examples that I put here, like Breath of the Wild, Last of Us, Assassin's Creed, and I bet you can think of many other games, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy games, etc. When creating games inspired by ancient cultures, it's essential to approach them with care and respect. I believe that these stories are best told by people with a genuine connection to the culture, which brings authenticity and heart to the narrative. This is why it's so important to support indie studios that are reclaiming and sharing the cultural heritage through games. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about these examples. When created games inspired by ancient culture, as I said before, is essential to a person with care and respect. These are some great games inspired by nature and myths of their native cultures. Chia, it's a game inspired by the country New Caledonia. It's an island close to Australia and New Zealand. It was developed by Awasep, which is a studio located there in New Caledonia, and it's full of magic and it's inspired by their native cultures. Never Alone, it's a game created with the help of Alaskan native storytellers, developed by Upper One Games, which is located in Anchorage, Alaska. And what I love about this game is they interview their elders so they can get the stories. And based on those stories, they created the game. Mulaka, it's a game where you explore Mexico's northern landscapes based on the Tarahumara indigenous culture. It was developed by Lienzo. Shout out to my friends from Lienzo. It's an indie studio located in Chihuahua, Mexico. All of these games are examples of games created by indie studios that want to share a little bit of their cultural heritage. They have something special, something unique, and we need to make more games like this. In pre-Hispanic philosophy, the world is seen as deeply interconnected, where everything has a spirit, a soul, and a purpose. Humans were meant to live in harmony with nature and the cosmos. Their beliefs included many gods and deities, honored through sacred rituals and ceremonies. These stories are very powerful when adapted to games. One of the myths is about the Nahuals or Nahuales. It was said that when a human was born, the human was assigned a Nahual, an animal spirit that would serve as a guide and protector, sharing a deep bond, mutual bond with the human. Their existence reflects the concept of duality and the close connection between humans and the natural world. Nahuales are also seen as messengers between the spiritual and the human realms, capable of communicating with the gods. And I know that other ancient cultures around the world share the same values about humans and their connection to nature and the spirit realm. And it seems like at some point in history, we forgot about this connection. We forgot about our roots. But the good news is the roots are still there. We just need to water them by telling our stories. And that is why I'm creating a game called Guardian of the Nahual. And a little disclosure, everything that you'll see here is a work in progress. We finished a small demo for publishers to see and for testing, but it's not the final product yet. So Guardian of the Nahual is a family-friendly action-adventure game inspired by Mexican nature and mythology. It's about a girl who has the power to heal, and she wants to protect her forest and the world of the Nahual, the world of the animal spirits. And the narrative, it's a contemporary story where the forest is being destroyed, just like in real life, and the animals are disappearing, like the jaguar, which is considered an endangered species in Mexico. In my story, the roles are reversed. Instead of the animal spirits being our protectors, we need to protect them and all the environment. You can explore the forests and temples. Inside the temples, you need to solve music puzzles with pre-Hispanic instruments. The jaguar ability that you see here in the GIF, it can only be obtained by finding the jaguar talisman, which is granted after you solve the puzzles. One of the main mechanics is animal healing. And to heal the animals, you must gather plants to craft a healing potion. So it has collectathon mechanics, platforming, all of the fun stuff. And now I'm going to show you a little trailer. It's not the final trailer yet, but you can get an idea of the game.
Grandpa told me the story of the animal spirits that can transform into humans. They are called Nahuatl. I think one is calling for me. Oh no, something is affecting the animals. I must find the right plants to heal it. Healing potion is ready. Here you go, little guy. How do I get out of here? Oh, wow! I feel so fast and fuerte. The jaguar! I'll save you. A dark energy is poisoning our forest. There must be more animals in danger out there. I must find the other power talismans so I can become the guardian of the Nahuatl.
Okay, that was just a little trailer that we're still working on for the game. So some final reflections. Doing research for this game has reconnected me with my roots. Even though I don't live near the pyramids or the southern parts of Mexico, my parents and my family are from southern states like Veracruz and Guanajuato. So I do feel a strong bond with those regions, and I want to share stories inspired by my cultural heritage. So games can celebrate ancient cultures created with respect. Games can carry stories that heal, teach, and raise awareness about important issues. And they can reach new generations through play. Games can protect stories, cultures, and even ecosystems if we design them with purpose and through an authentic lens. So let's create and celebrate cultural roots through play. Thank you, everyone. You can find me in my Instagram at chibimiri or at Chocolate Cosmos Games. This is a link tree. You will find many links to my social links. And the website is chocolatecosmosgames.com. I'm Miriam Bautista, and thank you so much for listening to my talk.
Thank you for that talk, Miriam. It's honestly mind-blowing to think about how many cultural representations there are to bring to games, how many we haven't yet seen, and how powerful they get when they're done well. I mean, think about South of Midnight, Tales of Kenzera Zhao, Venba. There's just, and this show, Game Devs of Color Expo, contains so many places where we infuse elements of who we are and our culture into the craft. I find it really exciting. I hope you do too. So thank you for spending some time listening to this talk. If you'd like to catch up with Miriam, you can find her on Instagram and Blue Sky at chibimiri.